Hello peeps and welcome to another Sundays with Sparky. How's it going? It's another Sunday, first Sunday of August, and I've had another busy week. Yes, I have. Making lots of videos. What should we do first? Video games or movies? I think we will do video games first, again this week. Just to mix it up a bit. So, first off, have I been playing much that you haven't already seen? Not really. Pretty much everything that I've been playing this week you've seen, except for some World of Warcraft. Yes, I know. But, because I had to renew my account for getting some of the footage that I've been putting into my Hearthstone videos, it seems silly not to use the game time that I've paid for to actually play it a bit. So that's what I've been doing, and very casually, I started a Dwarf Paladin with a friend of mine who's playing a Dwarf Hunter, and we're playing through, which has been pretty fun, and it seems to be more fun to play it with another person than it has been playing it on my own, which is what I have been doing. But I guess that's the kind of point of multiplayer games, I suppose, is to play it with other people. So, but yeah, it's been pretty fun. But I've only got like 17 days left or so on my game time before it runs out. So whether I'll renew it or not, I don't know. So the videos this week, we had lots of videos this week. Again, we still haven't had any Orcs Must Die. We haven't been able to finish that off yet, because we just haven't had mine and Suki's schedules just haven't kind of matched for us to be able to do anything just yet. But we have had lots of Gmod and lots of Hearthstone. So if you like Gary's mod, or you like Hearthstone, or both, then this week has been made for you. So we started off with some Trouble in Terrorist Town, number 11. I'm beginning to run out, actually. I've only got two more. I think I've only got two more episodes of Trouble in Terrorist Town on my hard drive to upload, so we shall see if we might have to record some more soon. We have been talking about it, but it's just getting the server set up and stuff, which is a bit of a nightmare if you don't really know what you're doing. So we had some of that. We had some more Gmod Murder, where we had a bit of a sing-song at the end, which was quite nice. And we also had the very first episode of some Prop Hunt, and I really enjoyed playing the Prop Hunt. We've got there's some fantastic stuff coming up for that. It's so funny. So if you're into any of that sort of stuff, then there's that. And then there was 6 Hearthstone videos, all 3 bosses from the new quarter, the Plague Quarter in Naxxramas expansion, plus all the heroic ones as well. So the normal version of Noth the Plaguebringer, Hygen the Unclean, and Lotheb, and then the heroic versions of those as well. They all went up today because I was silly and I should have uploaded them yesterday, or 2 of them at least, so they were a bit more spread out. But you know, yesterday I had a bit more of a life and actually went out for a friend's birthday, and I spent all of the day outside having a barbecue and stuff, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, it just meant that I had to get all these videos out today, because tomorrow it's Gmod Monday, as I like to call it. So yeah, or Multiplayer Monday even. That's what I like to call it. I don't like to call it Gmod Monday. I don't think I've ever called it Gmod Monday, in fact. In fact, just then was probably the first time I've ever called it Gmod Monday. But normally, I refer to it as Multiplayer Monday, because there's multiple players, and it's uploaded on a Monday. I probably didn't need to give you that much description. Anyway, yes, I needed to get them all uploaded today, so that tomorrow is clean for the rest of the normal stuff. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the Hearthstone expansion at the moment. There was a bit of a problem with the purchasing of the Plague Quarter this week. there was loads of people having issues with it. And if you've been following my Twitter or my Facebook, I've been posting updates and links and stuff. There was a forum that I was kind of watching just to kind of see if there was any updates. And I think when I last checked before mine started working, there was about 36 pages of people going, it doesn't work, it doesn't work, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's like, whoa, okay. It's quite a severe problem. Hopefully, they've got that all fixed now so that this Wednesday, when the military quarter goes live, we won't have the same problem. Fingers crossed. Kind of tied in with the video game stuff. Next Saturday, I'm going to be going to the CoxCon thing. Jesse Cox from Internet YouTube fame is having a thing up in London to kind of make up for the fact that GemuCon isn't going to be happening this year. And so me and my buddy are going to go up there and hang out and stuff. So if you're watching this and you're going, which is probably unlikely that you're doing both, then I'll see you there. If not, I will try and get some footage. I'm going to take this camera with me so I can do a little bit of vlogging, I suppose. And I'll be recording some of the fun stuff that goes down, hopefully. Let's talk about movies. So this week I watched Avengers Assemble for the 50 billionth time because I love the movie. Because I've been on a bit of a Marvel trip as of late, as you probably know if you've been watching last week's Sundays with Sparky. So I watched it and I was like, yeah, it's great. And then because I was trying to find out about, I was trying to watch them with the commentaries, and obviously the UK got a bit shafted and didn't get any versions that had a commentary on. None of the Blu-rays, as far as I'm aware, got a commentary on either. I think you have to get a region-free United States DVD Blu-ray in order to get the commentary. But I found somewhere that had a guy had made it into an MP4. An MP4? No, an MP3. Because an MP3 is a sound file, yes. So he'd made it into an MP3, just the commentary. So I could listen to that whilst watching the DVD. It did take a little bit of time to try and get it all kind of synced up so that it was playing at the same time. That was a bit tricky, but it was great because I got to hear Joss Whedon doing his commentary on the Avengers, and yeah, it was really nice, and I didn't think I was going to get to hear it, but I did. But it is pretty cool just hearing what Joss Whedon had to say about how he made the film and the things that he likes about the film, like his favourite bits and why he chose to keep things in and why he chose to take things out, and you know, that kind of stuff. I find that quite interesting sometimes, especially on a movie I really like. And that kind of geared me up watching all these Marvel movies because of Guardians of the Galaxy, which came out on Thursday. If you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy yet, and you're into the Marvel stuff, you need to see it because it is fantastic. And Guardians of the Galaxy has just been amazing the whole way through. Bearing in mind, I don't really know much. I'm not a big comic reader, just because growing up there was never really many comic book stores around. In fact, I don't think there were any comic book stores around. So if you wanted, and back then there wasn't any internet either to order them from. So if you wanted to buy comic books, you'd have to go miles to get them. So yeah. So growing up, I never really got into. I used to read comics, but they were like I started off reading stuff like the Beano and the Dandy, which are like very British kind of comic strip type comics. And I'd sometimes get Transformers or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics or the Ghostbusters comics, you know, stuff like that, rather than any proper like Marvel ones. Which is a shame because I probably would have enjoyed them just as much, if not more. But there was just nowhere to get them from, so it was a bit of a pain. Bit of a pain. Anyway, yeah, so I didn't really know much about Guardians of the Galaxy at all, except for what I'd kind of seen in the trailers and stuff. And it was fantastic. The characters were great. They were so diverse, but they all had their little quirks, and you just fall in love with all of them. And there was a touch of like the Naked Gun and the airplane style comedies from back in the late 70s, early 80s, where they're talking about stuff in the foreground while there's stuff in the background going on that's quite amusing and quite funny, that kind of relates to the stuff that they're doing in the foreground, but although you're listening to what they're saying, you're concentrating more on what's going on behind them. And I think Police Academy and stuff used to do that sort of thing as well. I think it was that kind of era of comedy that used to use that, and they do it brilliantly in this film. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it had action. It had some fantastic kind of like spaceship chase scenes, and in 3D it looks phenomenal. Yes, it had action, and it had chases and excitement, and like, and there was a bit of suspense, and there were a few twists and turns. Even like when you're watching the bad guy do his thing, there are things that happen that you totally don't expect, and you're like, oh my god, he just did that. That was not a good idea. You know, and you're like, oh my god, what's going to happen next? Like, the whole way through. And then there's Drax the Destroyer, played by Dave Bautista, the wrestler. Now, I was a bit sceptical, because the only film I've seen Dave Bautista in previous to this was the Riddick film that came out not too long ago, and I didn't think it was a very good film, and as such I kind of had this kind of estimation of where his ability as an actor is actually going to be, and it wasn't very high, I'll put it that way. But he was excellent as Drax the Destroyer, and he had some very funny lines, and delivered them in the best way that, I mean, that character was perfect for him, and he was perfect for that character. It was just the way he delivered the lines was consistent with the character, and everything was just right about it. I can't imagine anyone else being able to play it because of his kind of physical presence that he brings, just because he's such a massive guy. I don't think there is anyone else that could have done it and still done the humour that he brought to it. Yeah, it was excellent. All the characters were great, the comedy was great, the action scenes and the chase scenes were great. There were even a few scenes that get you right in the feels, and you get a lump in your throat, and you're like, There were even a few of those, and I'm not prone to that sort of thing too easily, but you get sucked in. You get sucked into this this universe, this galaxy, I suppose, that they've created. That you kind of just lose yourself watching these characters, and you just fall in love with all of them. And there's colour. It's not the same drab kind of thing that you always find. There's lots of different colours and stuff, and it's great. It is really good. Really, really, really good. Possibly one of the best movies I've seen this year. There you go, I said it. I said it, and I believe it, and I might even go and see it again, because it was that good. I kind of want to watch it again, just in case there was anything I missed. And the soundtrack is great as well. The soundtrack, I've just had like going around in my head, some of the songs going around in my head. It's perfect, almost, possibly, maybe. Guardians of the Galaxy, go see it. It's amazing. Gonna go and see it again because it was good, and I want that in my life. I want it. Alright, I am gonna go because I've just been talking about Guardians of the Galaxy for far too long, and I need to edit all this down, so I shall see you next Sunday, where I'll talk about CoxCon, and maybe even have this. Maybe even this won't be here. Maybe next Sunday will be the vlog from CoxCon. Maybe, possibly. I don't know. I'll figure something out. And I'll see you next Sunday. Alright, thanks for watching, peeps. I'll see you later. Bye bye.